everyone, and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial we're going to learn how to crochet step by step this beautiful eye clutch bag. It's a beautiful summer design. I used 100% cotton cord, and I have the material pinned on the first comment under the video. Now, because I know you don't know how to read Greek, the website is in Greek. I will have posted the Facebook page of the store as well. Maria speaks fluently English. If you post her the video tutorial on a private message, she will be able to send you the material. Okay, now this clutch bag has the measurements are 38 centimeters wide and 24 centimeters height. 24 centimeters height. Now let's see the materials that I used and how to start crocheting our clutch bag step by step. Now, what I want to mention before we see the material is that with those three colors in the center, we are going to have a lot yarn left, so you will be able to make other crafts as well. For the beige, this is what I have left from the whole skein, so I want you to be careful. Do not crochet loosely because the one skein will not be enough. Okay, but I do not want you to crochet very tight as well, very tight neither. So I want you to use medium strength to crochet your clutch bag. I know many of you do not want to work it as a clutch bag. Many of you want to work it as a pillow. Okay, if you want to work it with as a pillow, you can use any yarn that you prefer. You're going to work the same exact steps, and instead of stitching around here on the sides only, you're going to stitch all around to close the whole thing. Okay, so now let's see the material that I used and how to start. Before we start, let's see one by one the material that I'm going to use. So the yarn that I'm going to use is 100% cotton cord. It's called magenta cotton. Okay, I'm gonna need a blue. I'm gonna use a baby blue. I'm gonna use off-white, and I'm gonna use a beige color. Now the beige, the yarn, it's almost done because I've already crocheted the one side of the clutch, so I can see how it's been created. Okay, so I'm gonna need 4 skeins of 100% cotton cord. I'm going to use a leather zipper, and I'm going to use a leather handle to attach in the end on our clutch, and I'm going to use a 4.5mm crochet hook. Now let's see how to start crocheting the eye. Okay, so let's start, and I'm going to start with a dark blue, and I'm going to start with my magic circle. If you do not know how to work the magic circle, you can chain 4 and slip stitch in the first chain to form a ring, and whatever I'm going to crochet in the center of my magic circle, you're going to crochet in the center of your ring. So I'm going to start by wrapping the yarn around my 2 fingers once, bring it on the top left. Now put your hook under the right yarn and over the left and bring it over. Now turn your hook around once to form a loop. Grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. By doing this, I also have the first chain to start with. Now we're going to start our first row, and I'm going to work 1 half double crochet. I'm going to work 4 double crochet, one, 2, 3, and 4. Now, since I've crocheted my 4 double crochet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stitch marker, and I'm going to place it between the 2 double crochet that I just worked. Okay, so this is the 2 and the other 2. I don't want to put it through the stitch. I want to put it under because I want to put it in between. So put your stitch marker right over here. Okay, so I have 2 double crochet on the right and 2 double crochet on the left. Now I'm going to continue by working 2 half double crochet, 1 and 2. I'm going to work 4 more double crochet, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and again I want to put a stitch marker between the second and third double crochet, so I have 2 stitches on the right and 2 stitches on the left. So between the second and third double crochet under here, put a stitch marker. And I'm going to finish my row by working 1 half double crochet, but in the same time I want to change color and add my baby blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over once, okay, and instead of working the half double crochet with the dark blue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up my new color and I'm going to take it through the 3 loops. Okay, so what I have here, it seems as if I have completed the half double crochet with the dark blue, but in the same time I attached my new color. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the yarn that I started my magic circle with, and I'm going to pull it tight. Okay, so pull it very, very tight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in the first half double crochet for this row, and I'm going to work a slip stitch. Okay, now that I've worked my slip stitch, pull your loops to tighten them up. Okay, and this is how it looks like. The last stitch seems as if it's been done with a dark blue. I attached my new color, and now we're going to start row number 2. I'm going to cut off the dark blue because I don't need it anymore. And now with the baby blue, I'm going to start by chaining 3. 1, 2, 3, which counts as my first double crochet, and I'm going to turn my work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work 2 double crochet in the first 2 stitches of the row. So this is my first stitch and this is the second. So in the first stitch, work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 1, 2, and now I have reached on the stitch that I have. See here where I have the stitch marker on the right side, on the right stitch of the stitch marker, I'm going to work 2 triple crochet. I'm going to chain 2, and on the left stitch of the stitch marker, I'm going to work 2 more triple crochet. So I'm going to take out my stitch marker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over twice, put your hook in the next stitch, and work 2 triple crochet. So grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2, grab the yarn, pull through the last 2, yarn over twice again in the same stitch, through the first 2 loops, the next 2 loops, and the last 2 loops. Chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over twice, and right in the next stitch, go ahead and work 2 more triple crochet. Okay. So 1, yarn over it twice in the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2, grab the yarn, pull through the last 2. So I've created the point of the eye, the one. The other one is going to be worked on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work 2 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Okay, starting from the next stitch, 1, 2, second stitch, 1, 2, third stitch, 1, 2, and my fourth stitch, 1 and 2. Now I have reached the spot where I have my stitch marker. So on the right stitch of the stitch marker, I want to work 2 triple crochet, chain 2, and 2 more triple crochet on the double crochet that's on the left side of my stitch marker. Okay, 2 triple crochet here and 2 triple crochet here. So again, yarn over it twice, put your hook in the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through the next 2, grab the yarn, pull through the last 2, yarn over it twice again, put your hook in the same stitch, first 2 loops, next 2 loops, the last 2 loops, chain 2, yarn over it twice, and in the next stitch, first 2 loops, the next 2 loops, and the last 2 loops, yarn over it twice, in the same stitch, first 2 loops, the next 2 loops, and the last 2 loops. Okay, now in the next stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochet, which is the last stitch for this row. 1 and 2. Now, because in every single stitch I have worked 2 stitches, I also want to have 2 stitches in the beginning, right? So right here where I have the 3 chains, which count as my first double crochet, I do want to have 2 double crochet in the same stitch over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in the same stitch and I'm going to work 1 last double crochet. But what I want to do is I also want to change color. So let me do this over again. In the very same stitch where I have the chain 3. Okay, grab the yarn and pull it through the first 2 loops. And instead of crocheting the last 2 loops to finish off the double crochet, I'm going to grab the new color. I'm going to get my off-white. Okay, and I'm going to crochet it through the last 2 loops. So the last double crochet seems as if it's being done with the baby blue, but I've also attached my new color. So cut off the baby blue, and we're going to continue with our new color. Now put your hook in the first stitch for this row, which is the chain 3. Counting from the bottom to the top, put your hook in that 3rd chain and slip stitch. Okay, now pull your loops to tighten them up. Now from here on, what I want to do, see here on the sides where we worked the chain 2. Now in every single row up until we finish, under the chain 2 space, I am always going to be working 2 triple crochet, chain 2, 2 triple crochet, same here. On the stitch that's before the chain 2, I'm always going to be working 2 double crochet. On the stitch that's after the chain 2, I am always going to be working 2 double crochet as well. Same thing applies on the other side, 2 double crochet here, work or increase, 2 triple crochet, chain 2, 2 triple crochet, and 2 double crochet on the stitch after the chain 2. What I want to do is I want to separate the top stitches in half and the bottom stitches in half as well. So after this increase and before this increase, I have a total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have a total of 12 stitches. So I want to put my stitch markers and separate 6 stitches on the right and 6 stitches on the left. So 2, 4, 6. Okay, so right here, after the 6th stitch, under the stitch, not in the stitch, under the stitch, I'm going to attach my stitch marker. So I have 2, 4, 6 on the right side and 2, 4, 6 on the left. I want to do the same exact thing on the bottom side. I also have 12 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I want to have 6 stitches on the one side and 6 on the other. So 2, 4, 6. So right after the 6th stitch, put your stitch marker under here. So what's going to be happening now is on the stitch that's before the stitch marker on the right side, I'm going to be working 2 double crochet. On the stitch that's on the left side, I'm going to be working 2 double crochet. Same applies down here, 2 stitches on the right, 2 stitches on the left. So let's start our new row. I'm going to start by chaining 3, oops, wrong crochet hook, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn my work. Now right here in the beginning, this is the left side of my stitch marker. So this means in the very same stitch, I'm going to work 1 more double crochet. So right here in the same stitch, I'm going to work 1 more double crochet. Now I want to work 1 double crochet in every stitch up until I reach the stitch before the increase. So starting from the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so on the stitch that's before the increase, I want to work 2 double crochet in the same stitch. 1 and 2. Under the chain 2 space, I want to work 2 triple crochet. 1, 2 triple crochet, chain 2, and 2 more triple crochet under the same chain space. One, and the last one. 2. After the increase, I do want to work again 2 double crochet in the stitch that's after the increase. So 1, same stitch, 2. So this is how the corner of the eyes are always going to look like. Now after the 2 double crochet, I want to work 1 double crochet in every stitch up until I reach the stitch that's on the right side of my stitch marker. Here I'm going to work my 2 double crochet. Okay, so I'm going to work 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now I've reached the stitch that's on the right side of my stitch marker. So 2 double crochet here and 2 double crochet right in the next stitch that's on the left side of the stitch marker. Okay, so 1 and 2, and in the next stitch again 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. What I want to do is, again, I want to put my stitch marker right between the two sets of 2 double crochet. So this is the first set of 2 double crochet, this is the second set. So right in between the two sets, I'm going to put my stitch marker right over here. So what this means is that on the right side of the stitch marker, I'm going to work 2 stitches, on the left side again 2 stitches. So continue by working 1 double crochet in every stitch up until the stitch that's before the increase. So again, I'm going to have 4 stitches. So it's very important to have the same amounts of stitches in each side. Now, after the 2 double crochet that I worked after the increase, and before the 2 double crochet, I have 4 stitches, right? Again here, from the stitch before the increase, and after the increase in the beginning, after the 2 double crochet that I worked here, I have 4 stitches again. So again here, before the increase, I want to have 4 double crochet again. So starting from the next stitch, work 1, 2, 3, and 4 again. So it's very important to have the same amount of stitches. If you don't have the same amount of stitches, that means that somewhere you have made a mistake. Okay, so after my 4 double crochet, on the stitch that's right before the increase, I want to work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. On the chain 2 space, I'm going to work 2 triple crochet, chain 2, and 2 triple crochet again. 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more triple crochet. 1, and 2. On the double crochet, on the stitch, sorry, that's after the increase, work 2 double crochet in that same stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, now after the 2 double crochet, again I'm going to have to work 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches before the stitch, and I'm going to have to work my 2 double crochet again. Okay, starting from the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I have reached the stitch that's on the right side of my stitch marker. The left side of the stitch marker was the beginning of the row where I worked the 2 double crochet in the same stitch, chain 3 and 1 more double crochet. So now I'm on the right side of the stitch marker where again I'm going to have to work 2 stitches. Okay, 1. Okay, and the last stitch in the same stitch, but I also want to change and attach the last color. So put your hook in the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull, grab the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops, and now instead of crocheting the last 2 loops with the same color to finish the double crochet, I am going to attach my beige color which is the last color that I'm going to attach, and I'm going to pull it through the 2 loops. Okay, so now it seems as if I have completed my last stitch with the off-white, but I have also attached my new color. So work a slip stitch in the first stitch for this row, which is the 3rd chain counting from the bottom to the top. Okay, and work a slip stitch. Now that I have worked my slip stitch, I'm going to tighten up the loops. I'm going to cut the off-white yarn, and I'm going to continue with the beige. What I want to do again though is between the 2 sets of 2 double crochet, I want to place my stitch marker again, and I want to do that up until I complete my clutch. So this is the 2 sets that I worked just now, and these are the first 2 double crochet. This is the first set, and this is the second set right here, the 2 double crochet that I worked in the beginning of the row when I worked the 3 chains, which is my first stitch, and the double crochet in the same stitch. So right in between those 2 sets, okay, so right after the last double crochet that we just worked, we're going to put our stitch marker under that stitch again. So I have the 2 stitches on the right and the 2 stitches on the left. Okay, so now we're going to start our new row, which is the last row that we're going to work together. Okay, and I'm going to turn my work. Now again, because the right stitch is the beginning of my work, again I'm going to work 1 more double crochet in the same stitch that I just started. Okay, so always on the right side of the stitch marker, and on the left side I want to be working 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Okay, so in the next stitch again I'm going to work 2 double crochet in the same stitch. 1, same stitch, 2. So again, between the first 2 sets that I just worked, between the 2 sets again I want to attach my stitch marker. So when I turn my work in the next row, on the right stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochet, on the left one I'm going to work 2 double crochet again. Okay, so always put your stitch marker again in between the 2 sets. Now I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each of the stitches up until I reach the stitch that's before the increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So on this row, after the 2 double crochet and before the other 2 double crochet, we always want to have 8 stitches. So on the stitch that's before the increase, work 2 double crochet, 1 same stitch, 2. Under the chain 2, we always want to work 2 triple crochet, chain 2 and 2 triple crochet. So 1, 2, chain 2 and 2 more triple crochet, 1 and 2. On the first stitch, it's after the increase, we always want to work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. Now I want to work 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches up until I reach the stitch that's on the right side of the stitch marker. So again, I'm going to have 8 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now this is the double crochet that's on the right side of my stitch marker, and on the double crochet that's on the left, I want to work 2 double crochet in each of those 2 stitches. 1 same stitch, 2, next stitch, 2 more double crochet, 1 same stitch, 2. Now I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches again up until I reach the stitch that's before the increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In the next stitch, that's the stitch before the increase, I'm going to work 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, and I have forgotten to attach the stitch marker right here between the 2 double crochet that I worked. Okay, so sorry that I forgot. Right here where I worked the 2 sets of 2 double crochet, again right in between those 2 sets, I have 2 stitches on the right, 2 stitches on the left. So right in between those 2 sets, again I want to attach my stitch marker. Okay, so I have worked now the 2 double crochet before the increase, and on the chain 2 we're going to work 2 triple crochet, chain 2 and 2 triple crochet. 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more triple crochet. 1, and 2, 2 double crochet on the stitch that's after the increase, 1 and 2, and I want to work a total of 8 double crochet up until I finish my row. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last stitch right over here, 8. Now we're going to put our hook on the first double crochet for this row, which is the chain 3, the third chain counting from the bottom to the top. work a slip stitch. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. So this is how our eye is going to look like. Now we're going to continue off camera because we are always working the same exact steps. Okay, always I want to start with 3 chains, which count as my first double crochet. I want to work 1 double crochet in every stitch up until I reach the stitch that's before the increase. 2 double crochet, 2 triple crochet, chain 2, 2 triple crochet under the chain 2 space, 2 double crochet on this stitch again, 1 double crochet in every stitch up until I reach the stitch marker. On the double crochet that's before and on the double crochet that's after, I want to work 2 stitches on each of those, and always put your stitch marker right in between the 2 sets. 1 double crochet in every stitch, 2 double crochet on the stitch before the increase, 2 triple crochet, chain 2, 2 triple crochet over here, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet in every stitch, and right here on the stitch marker I'm going to have 2 double crochet on the right side and 2 more double crochet on the left side, which is the last stitch of the row as well. Okay, because right after that is my chain 3, so this is the last stitch. So again, once you work your 2 sets of 2 double crochet, again put your stitch marker in between. This way we're working an increase on the top and on the bottom to have this nice curve over here, and the increases that we work on the sides. Okay, so we have worked the first row with the beige color together, and I want to work 1, 2, 3, 4 extra rows off camera. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to join the 2 pieces together, how to attach the zipper and the handle. I've completed crocheting. After I attached my beige color, I have worked a total of 5 rows. Okay, now to close my work, after my slip stitch, I'm going to chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop and fasten off. Okay, now we want 2 identical pieces. So this is my first one. This is the wrong side, and the wrong side is the side where the yarn, when you start your magic circle, folds under. Okay, that's the wrong side, and this is my good side. So we want 2 identical pieces. Go ahead and crochet 1 more piece, and when you're done, I'm going to turn my video back on to attach the 2 pieces together and attach the zipper as well. I've completed crocheting my both identical parts, okay, pieces of the clutch bag. What I want to do now is, what I did is I weaved in only the end yarn that I finished my work. The other yarn, just so I don't lose time, I'm going to weave in the end. So what I want to do now is I want to separate the zipper in half, and I'm going to take the 1 piece, and in order to know which stitches to close together from where to where, first I need to adjust the zipper and see which stitches are going to be left in for the zipper, and then I'm going to know which stitches I'm going to close, I'm going to stitch together to close my clutch bag. So what I want to do is I want to stretch out my piece nicely, okay, and I'm going to take the zipper and I'm going to approximately put stitch markers from where to where my zipper is going to fit, okay. So I'm going to attach a stitch marker here because the hole is aligned with this stitch over here, and then go to the other side and put a stitch marker here because it's aligned to this side. Now what I want to do is I want to count the leftover stitches. I forgot to mention that I want to count the total number of stitches that I have after the increases. So I want to measure the top stitches, how many are they? And I have 60 stitches. Now, what I want to do, since I know that from here to here my zipper fits, I want to count how many stitches are left over on the one side from after the stitch marker to before the increase over here, and how many stitches are left on the other side as well. Okay, so from that number I'm going to add those two numbers together. Okay, so let's count the stitches that we have after the stitch markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the one side, and on the other side after the stitch marker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as well on the other side. Okay, so I aligned it correctly. Okay, so even if you don't align your zipper correctly, what you want to do is you want to take the one number that I just counted plus the other number, so 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, so let's say it was 12 plus 8. Okay, so I had 20. I want to take that number and divide it by 2, and the result is 10. So this means that I need, after the increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches, and on the 11th I'm going to attach my stitch marker. Same on the other side as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, and on the 11th stitch you're going to add your stitch marker. So let's say you counted a total of 24 stitches. This means you're going to have a total of 12 stitches on the one side. On the 13th you would have your stitch marker, sorry, and 12 stitches on the other side, and on the 13th you would have your stitch marker. What this means is that when I start to slip stitch now to join, I'm going to start slip stitching after the stitch marker all around and before the stitch marker over here. And from the one stitch marker to the other is where I'm going to attach my zipper in the end. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to turn on the other side as well and count the 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 11th I'm going to attach my stitch marker, and on the other side as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 11th stitch I'm going to attach my stitch marker. So let's start joining, and then we're going to attach the zipper. Okay, so let's start joining, and what we want to do is after the stitch marker we're going to join all around up until the stitch before the stitch marker. I want to have the front side of the both pieces, okay, the good side, and what we're going to do is we're going to start joining on the front side of our clutch bag. So we're going to make a nice outline out here with the slip stitches. So what I want to do is on the front piece I will always be working on the back loop of the stitch, and on the back piece I am always going to be working on the front loop. So what the back loop is when you put your hook in regularly in the stitch. This right here is the front loop, and this right here is the back loop. So you want to put your hook in the center on the top and grab the back loop. On the back side, again, if you put your hook regularly in the stitch, this right here is the front loop and this is the back loop. What I want to be doing is once I put my hook in, I don't want to take it through and through. Put your hook in the stitch and take it out on the front loop. Okay, so let's start. On the stitch after the stitch marker on the front side, I want to grab the back loop, and on the first stitch on the back side I want to grab the front loop right over here, and I'm going to join my yarn. Okay, so grab the yarn and pull it through both stitches and chain 1 to attach the yarn. Okay, now this was the first stitch. Now go onto the second stitch. Oops. Go onto the second stitch and grab the back loop on the front side and the front loop on the back side, right over here, and work your slip stitch. Grab the yarn and pull it through both stitches and through the loop that you have on your hook. Now, second stitch, grab the back loop of the front piece and the front loop of the back piece and work your slip stitch. Next stitch, put your hook and grab the back loop of the front side and the front loop of the back side and work your slip stitch. Okay, next stitch, grab the back loop of the front side and the front loop of the back piece and work your slip stitch. So keep working one slip stitch all around. Once you reach right here, the chain 2, put your hook in the first chain on the front piece and in the first chain of the back piece and slip stitch. Then put your hook on the second chain on the front piece, the second chain on the back piece and work a slip stitch again. And then right over here, when you start working on the stitches after the increase over here, again you're going to be grabbing the back loop of the one stitch and the front loop of the other stitch and continue working all around in the same exact way all around. Again, here in the chain 2, grab the first stitch of the front piece, the first stitch of the back piece and slip stitch them together. Second chain on the front, second chain on the back and slip stitch, and keep working in the same exact way your slip stitches up until you reach your last stitch over here, which is the stitch before the stitch marker. Once I finish working all around, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to attach the zipper. I have completed joining and see how nice, what a nice border it creates all around our clutch by working the slip stitches on the stitches that we did. Okay, so now what I want to mention is that depending on how tight or how loose you crochet, the number of stitches on the side might differ from the ones that I've separated. Okay, but if you choose to make your clutch bag with this material, what you want to do is for the pieces that you're going to crochet, the two identical ones, you do not want to crochet too loose, neither you want to crochet too tight. You want to have a medium strength, but I strongly I want to make sure that you do not crochet too loose, because the yarn, the beige that we just used, it's not going to be enough. See how much I have left? It's enough to sew the zipper around. If you crochet too loose, you're going to need 2 skeins of the beige to complete your clutch bag. Okay, so you want to crochet with medium strength. If you crochet too tight, your two identical pieces are going to shrink. They're going to have a curve and they're not going to look nice. So you want to have a medium strength. So after I finished working my slip stitches all around, after the last slip stitch, I have worked the chain, cut the yarn and fasten off. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the zipper. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so let's see how we're going to adjust our zipper. And see how this is the good side. I've already adjusted the one zipper, so to see which is the correct way to adjust it on our clutch. Okay, so this is the good side. So open up the piece so you're looking on the inside, and you want to be looking on the wrong side of the zipper. This is the good side where we see the leather, and this is the wrong side. Okay, so we want to put the wrong side inside our bag and start sewing. Be aware, we are not going to sew every single stitch of our bag on every hole. Our stitches are many more than the holes that the zipper has, so we are going to be aligning each hole to the stitch that it belongs to on the outside of our clutch. And what I want to do is I want to sew the zipper not on the top stitches over here because I did it off camera and it looked very bad. We want to sew on the previous row, on this row over here. This is on the stitches, the row of the stitches that I'm going to be putting my needle into. Okay, so put your zipper on the inside. Okay, put your needle in the first hole and on the first stitch down here. Okay, and sew it. Now align the stitches, and from the outside, okay, on this row I want to go approximately to the next stitch that's aligned to the hole on the inside. Okay. Now what I want to do is, once I sew this hole as well, I'm going to grab the two corners and tighten them up so the stitch is aligned, so I know which stitch aligns with which hole. Okay, so from the inside to the outside over here, from the outside to the inside approximately to the hole that it aligns to. Okay, and sew and grab both ends and align them together. Okay, so keep sewing up until you finish sewing the whole zipper. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see what to do in the end of the zipper and how to attach the handle to finish it off. I have completed sewing my zipper. Okay, now what I want to do is, once you tighten it up, okay, I have already done one knot. You want to bring your yarn down here and work a couple of knots just to make sure that your zipper doesn't come apart. Okay, once you work your knot, weaving the end back here on the back loops, you're going to tighten up, bring down the yarn down here and make a few knots over here as well, and weaving the end. Go ahead and sew the other side of the zipper in the same exact way as we just did this one. Once I work all my knots to hold my zipper correctly, I'm not going to weave in the end, so I don't because I don't have time at this moment, but I'm going to turn my video back on to see how our clutch zips and then how we're going to adjust the handle. I have completed sewing both of my zippers. Okay, now I'm both sides of the zipper. Now I'm going to zip it. Okay, I'm going to close the zipper, place it on the inside, the part that hangs. Okay, and go ahead and zip your whole bag. Okay, and our clutch bag is ready. See how beautiful it looks with the leather zipper? Now we're going to attach the handle. I have the release link over here. What you can do is you can attach the release link on any part back here on the side that you prefer. Okay, just open it up and take it through the stitches, and then take the handle, open it up, and here we go. And our eye clutch bag is ready. So thanks for watching, please subscribe, and if you like the video, please press like and leave a comment. Thanks again, bye bye!